In Luke 8, verses 26 through 39, we find one of Jesus' strangest healing miracles. Now, we can only try to imagine how the disciples felt at the time. They had just experienced a terrifying storm that Jesus had miraculously calmed, as we read in Luke 8, 22 through 25. Then as they landed on the other side of the lake, they were confronted by a half-naked man who came running out of the tomb screaming at them. Now picture this image. Many people would have turned around and gone back the other direction, but not Jesus. Instead, he began to speak to this poor, unfortunate man, or more correctly, to the demons that were possessing him. Now add to these strange features the fact that they had left their comfort zone in Galilee and had now entered into a territory that was occupied by Gentiles. Jesus spent most of his time among the Jewish people, but like in this instance, he sometimes went outside of the land of Israel. And that Jesus went there and healed this man tells us quite a bit about Jesus and his mission to all people. From this story, we see that this man was in a terrible state. Driven by the demons that were possessing him, he was an outcast, living among the dead. Rather than just driving out the demons, though, Jesus allowed them to enter into a herd of pigs, and as a result, the crazed pigs ran down the slope into the lake, and they all drowned. Now you may be wondering, why did Jesus allow this to happen? Well, we really don't know. Perhaps it was to remind those present, and also to us today, of the destructive nature of sin and of the devil. Well, the men tending to the pigs, they ran away in fear. And when they returned with others, they came across this man that was very well known to them, this man that was crazed, that had been cast out from society. And here he was, healed and clothed and in his right mind and sitting with Jesus. Now there was no denying that something spectacular had happened, a great miracle had been performed. But instead of realizing this and welcoming Jesus, they asked him to leave. Well, the man's reaction was quite different. He was no doubt excited and happy for what Jesus had done for him and asked to go with Jesus. But Jesus told him instead to go and tell others what the Lord had done for him. And Luke tells us that he did just that. And Mark added that he traveled to spread the news of his healing throughout the Decapolis, which was a large area east of the Sea of Galilee that included several towns and villages, Mark 5 and verse 20. Those present on that day saw this man. They were very familiar with him. They knew about the life that he was living and how terrible it was. Many of them possibly had tried to help this man in the past, only to realize that in his state, he was helpless. But on this day, when the men came from the city, having heard what took place to the pigs, they were more concerned about the pigs than they were for this man. And sadly, because of their self-centered thinking, they missed out on hearing and being with Jesus. And the most fascinating thing, though, about this story is that it is too real to have been made up. It must have come from those who were actually there, who actually witnessed these things. And also, it must have remained for a long time in the memory of the disciples, but especially in the memory of the one who was healed. Friends, we want to thank you for taking the time to join us for our study today. We pray that you will consider the message of the story that we have considered today, that you will examine these things in light of your own spiritual life, and that you will make any corrections that may need to be made to your life. We invite you to join us on Sunday morning for Bible class at 9 o'clock, worship at 9:50 at Pyburn Street Church of Christ. We will also meet on Sunday evening at 6 o'clock. We hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we hope that God blesses you with a wonderful day.